The idea to write this book came to me in a way that is very much like what I describe in the book's prologue. I had the idea for a book somewhat like Daniel Quinn's Ishmael, where I try to tap into what civilization must look like from a non-human species. Quinn used a gorilla, and that worked well for him in terms of the message he was trying to convey. But the message I wanted to convey was different. Um, and I was sitting there brainstorming about what specific animal I should use. Well, the whole time my dog was literally curled up at my feet. Well, as the title suggests, it's a story about the travels and adventures of a dog. But it's about a very unusual dog, a dog who understands humans in ways that most dogs and most humans don't. It's a story of the intellectual journey of the dog's caretaker as well. But more than that, more than all of that, it's a story about us, about you and me, and what we're doing, how our authentic human nature is continuously being hijacked and redirected by the demands of civilized existence, by the requirements of a lifestyle that's far removed from who we really are as a species, as human beings. Well, I wrote the book, the bulk of it, during the first wave of the COVID lockdown. I was suddenly stuck working from home and found myself with a lot of unused mental energy. Writing fiction has never really been my thing. All of my other books are creative nonfiction. And I never really tried to write a novel before. So at first it was just a kind of distraction. You know, I guess some people do crossword puzzles. But at some point it started to take on a life of its own, and I was sucked into it. It's truly a compelling story. First of all, I'm a lifelong dog lover. There have only been brief periods when there hasn't been at least one dog in my life. Uh, and the relationship between dogs and humans is a unique one. It began tens of thousands of years before humans domesticated any other animal. And it started out more as a symbiotic relationship than one of domestication. And also, the real purpose behind the book is to offer hope and encouragement for a more authentically human future, a future where people are able to live in ways that are closer to to the natural world and closer to their inborn human nature. And it's real interesting to observe what happens with dogs when they go feral. Uh, Even dogs that are physically barely resemble their wolf ancestors quickly fall back into a way of living that is very close to a lifestyle they evolved for. Um, Thousands of years of domestication start to fall right off of them. If dogs, creatures who have been domesticated for longer than any other creature, are able to rediscover their wildness, that bodes well for humans and the possibility of future human rewilding. Well, I'm really happy with the writing. It represents some of the most beautifully written prose I've ever penned, and it reads like an extended prose poem in places. As far as what people should know ahead of time, well, one of the reviewers said that reading it is like taking the red pill. As with my creative nonfiction work, there's much in it that people might find challenging on a personal level. It calls into question many features of modern life that we tend to think of as necessary evils. They are evils, but they are not at all necessary. And the number one thing that I hope readers will take away is hope itself. We are constantly being spattered with fear and hopelessness and bad news. And we have war and climate crisis and pandemic disease and ridiculous political theater. It can be easy to lose sight of the present moment. Um, it's easy to dismiss the beauty and potential of what's happening right now, right next to us. It's easy to think of these things as trivial and unimportant, but they're not. Our lives are not out there somewhere. They aren't in the future. They are in this moment now, in the place we are right now, with the people and other beings who are sharing this place and this moment with us. Um, Dogs live entirely in the present moment, and in this, they can serve as a potent role model.